please get rid of it. I hate plants. Okay. Why I'm holding this plant, sorry. Oh, and welcome. This time we're cozy, we're sitting down. I have a liter of tea in my Stanley cup. I have my boyfriend's sweater on, casual hair, I'm cozy. And today we're gonna be ranking some popular book tropes and, see how I stand on them, to them. I don't know how you say it, but if I like them, if I love them, which ones I hate, because there are some I really don't like at all. And yes, we're gonna go through this template that I found online or in another video. I don't quite remember, but I can link you the video below if I find it again. And yes, it's pretty hot still. Let's get to it. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 categories. So I will read any book with this trope, so that's like my ultimate favorites. Then we have I usually enjoy it, which is it's usually done well, but it also is possible to not do it that good. Then I have not my fave, but also not my least fave. So this is kind of what I'm like neutral about it. Like I don't really care if it's a book or not, but I will not look for it. And then doesn't hit unless done right. This is also something like that. So if it's in a book, it can be done good, but if it's not done good, it's really, really bad. And then not a vibe, fan, I don't really like it, get rid of it is, I really hate it. I will not read anything of it. And haven't read yet is just, for the books and the tropes I don't personally know. And we will start off with teacher, student. Okay, this is interesting because it depends on what kind of teacher and what kind of student. Like I think it's no-go in high school, like that's just kind of weird. But if it's a professor at a university and they're like kind of similar in age and it's not like the creepiest thing, I think it can be done well. But in general, like in real life, I think it's a no-go, and like for obvious reasons. But I did like it so much when I was younger, like when I was like 12, 13, 14, reading Wattpad stories like this. This was something I was searching for, like good teacher-student things. It's not like I had a crush on any of my teacher, but I thought it was interesting, the trope. But nowadays, it's, I haven't read it in years. I think the only time I've read this trope is in Wattpad fanfiction and like Wattpad original stories. So I would say not a vibe fan, I would say. Then fake dating. I have seen this in a couple of books, but I'm not particularly a fan, I don't think, because the concept is not right, but sometimes it's just weird. I think it's not done properly a lot of the times, but I do like it. I think it doesn't hit unless done right, because it can hit. I think it could be a win, but I just haven't read it in like really good ways, for me at least. Oh shit, sports romance. I think the only thing I've read is The Deal, which was this like, wait, was it even a sports? No. Yes. So he's the captain of the hockey team, apparently. And I didn't like that, really. I think it was fine. I didn't love that. Then I started a sports romance, which was called Throttle. The Throttle series, I think that was what it was called. With like a Formula One driver. And I didn't like that at all. So I don't think I've just read a lot of that. But I think it can be done right. But I don't think I'm a fan, to be honest. Okay, we have forced proximity. This is like my favorite thing in the world, because it usually means they don't want to be together at that point. They don't like their company, and then to have it forced on them, and then they, they notice some things that they like or that they somehow understand each other. And it's like, I love that. I will read any book with this trope. And then we have the bad boy, good girl. And this, I think, is just most romance books, like not most, but I think it's much more common than bad girl with good boy. But I really like the bad boy dynamic. I think I especially love it in like fantasy books where you have this girl that doesn't know anything about the world and she stumbles into this world, and he's like the sassy, arrogant dude who is, already part of that, like a fae or like a shadow hunter, for example, and he's kind of badass in that world already, and she's kind of just shy and good and doesn't know anything about it. I think then it really hits, for me at least. I love it. So I usually enjoy it, I would say. I think it can be done in a weird way, was like overly bad and weird, and she's overly nerdy, and when she's like overly uptight and things, I think it can be done too much. But I think like the gist of it I think I do like that. Mafia romance. I have not read a mafia romance in my life, but actually I think I would like it. I think that would be something to it because I think it's that bad boy, good girl dynamic. Could be something for me. Recommend mafia romance if you know some that are good. Oh, then we have Grumpy Sunshine. I think I do like this trope. When the guy is grumpy and the girl is sunshine, I think that is pretty cute. But I also think it's pretty cute when it's the other way around. So you have like a grumpy black cat girl and a, you know, sunshine golden retriever guy. I think that also can be pretty cute and interesting. I think not my fave, but also not my least fave. I think that's a fine dynamic. Bodyguard romance. I've not yet read that. The thing is, I've not read that many standalone romance where it's only about the romance books. I usually read romance and fantasy or like literary fiction or stuff like that. But so I think that's why I haven't read those genres, because usually those are then pure romance books. Right person, wrong time. Oh my god, I love that. Especially if it has like a sad ending and they don't get together. I think it hits so hard. I think, you know, that's usually in the romance story or just in general, they get together in the end. But if it is a story where like they're made for each other, but it's just the context and the surroundings and everything is just not right and the time is not right, but they know that they are meant to be together, but it just can't be right now, I think that is perfect when it is done right. I think I will not read any book with this trope. I think I usually enjoy it. Let's do that. And there was only one bed. Let's fucking go. Yes, we love that. We love that. It's like part of the forced proximity, you know? I eat it up. I think it can be done badly, but even if it is badly written, I will still eat it up. I think that just tropes or cliches that even though if they're done badly, you like them, if you like them, you know? So, and that's that for me. I think just the forced proximity is just, I love it. Love at first sight. I'm not a fan. You know, as you can see maybe, I'm a more like a slow burner girly, and love at first sight just takes so much conflict out of the whole thing, and you're like, oh, I love him and he loves her, and it's like, and they love each other, and I think yeah, I'm not a fan. No, I'm sorry. Love triangles. I have read good love triangles, but I've also read bad triangles. For example, in the Dark Artifices, I think that's the series called, there was a love triangle and I liked that. I'm currently actually reading one. I started Throne of Glass and I think it will become a love triangle. At this point, it's like I'm halfway through the first book and it's not really romantic at all. But I think there will be something coming. But I think it doesn't hit unless done right, because usually one person gets left out or it focused too much on one part or one person. And then you're rooting for the person the entire time and then just feel sad for the other person. And I think, yeah, it can be done right, but usually it's not really a thing. Single parent. That's not really a romance trope, is it? I mean, it can be. I'm pretty neutral towards that. I think it can create a bit of childhood trauma that could lead to some interesting development and some hidden demons, you know, we have to unpack and heal. So yeah, I don't know. Not my fave, but also not my least fave, I guess. I'm pretty neutral toward that. Friends to enemies to lovers. I don't think I've read a book like that. Friends that became enemies, then became lovers. I don't think I've read that actually. I'm thinking of one, but I don't think I have. No, I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. Oh, the age gap. Well, is it a like 25 to 35 age gap, or is it like a 17-year-old hanging out with like a 3,000-year-old fae or vampire? That's a different, you know, what kind of age gap. But usually I like the age gap, even though it's ridiculous for like a 17-year-old Bella to marry a 107-year-old Edward. I think it's ridiculous. But also, you know, it kind of slaps, to be honest. I don't know, there's something about it. Something about an old being finding something special in such a young human being, you know what I mean? And I think that also validates the I'm not like other girls thing, because it's like, well, he chose you. Like, he's known like in generations of people, but he chooses you. So that's something, you know, that kind of hits the spot, to be honest. I usually enjoy it, I would say, but it's not, it can be criminal, you know what I mean? It's not that. It's, I mean, more in a fantasy way or more in a adult people that have age gaps. That's what is fine with me. Accidental pregnancy. I have not read that a lot, but I hate it. I get rid of it. I don't like it because, first of all, if it's romance in fantasy, I usually read fantasy because you can make the stakes so high, but they will not become relatable because it's not your world they're destroying. And all the words and the heartbreak, it hits the spot, but it's not relatable and depressing for me. But when there's something like that, like pregnancy and stuff like that, and something goes wrong, oh, I don't know, it becomes so relatable and tied to the human real world that I don't really enjoy it. I don't know, it's kind of weird. And I think accidental pregnancy is usually, I think if it's done like in literary fiction where it's literally about that, yes, obviously that is a topic that will be interesting to read about. But I think in like fantasy or pure romance where it's just a side plot, oh now she's pregnant, she has a kid, I think it's kind of I don't like bully romance. Wait, is that between a bully and the person he's bullying? That's weird. I don't know. I've not read that. It's still so hot. Like I've made this tea like 3 hours ago and I put ice in it and it's still hot. Brother's best friend. I love this trope. I have not read a lot of this, but I like it. I think it's that when two people can't be together or like the people around them don't want them to get together or there's something holding them back, I think that's what makes that kind of romance like even better, because you know that longing for something you can't have but you both have that longing. I think that's peak. I really like that. I usually enjoy it, I would say. I think, oh my god, only one bad is that is like in the highest tier above these all is wild. But I mean, it is how it is. What can I say? Friends with benefits, two lovers. I think it doesn't hit unless done right, because I don't usually like it when like the characters are super intimate with each other before having feelings. I like that to build off that tension, and then at some point, you know, towards the end, you know, they finally have some intimate moments with each other, and I like that more. And if you take that away because they're first friends with benefits, I think that I don't like that too much. But I think it can be done right. So that tier. Workplace romance. This, I think, I've also read a lot of Wattpad stories when I was like 13 with this. So like maybe a woman working in a factory, I wanted to say, what is it called? I was looking for the word office. Thank you very much. So if a woman is working at an office and she kind of falls in love with her boss, I think I like that. And I liked that when I was 13 on Wattpad, but I don't know, I'm not reading that really because I don't know. But if it's other than that, just between two employees, it doesn't sound super interesting to me. I think put it in not a vibe, maybe. Well, maybe change it up later. We have enemies to lovers, which is my favorite trope in the entire world. Well, I don't know. It's like, it does something to me, you know? I think it's one of the most popular like book and romance trope there is, but it's just fantastic. I love it. And I know a lot of people are sometimes annoyed because sometimes they're just rivals in a competition or something like that, or they don't hate the other person like with all of their being, they just are rivals, or it was just a misunderstanding. But I also eat that up. So like for me, if they don't like each other in the beginning or something is wrong, then that's good for me. Like I love that. Strangers to lovers. I mean, isn't that basically every story? Or like most people don't know each other in the beginning and then they fall in love, I guess. Wait, am I stupid right now? I think that's usually in every book. If they're not friends to lovers or whatever. I usually enjoy it, I would say. I guess. Or am I just not understanding something? Then we have childhood friends to lovers. We're gonna immediately put that into not a fan. I don't think I like when the characters know each other very well and then they become lovers, and I think that's something also weird about it. I mean, it's not weird that that happens, but I usually like to find out about the characters alongside each other and not have, you know, them tell me and oh, you remember when we were 6 and we doing that. And I usually think that they have a better bond than I as a reader can understand, and I don't know, I like it better when they're strangers in the beginning. Slow burn is the best. I think like the fast paced romance books are just not for me because I love to be very slow, like excruciating, painfully slow, and every chance the author gets they will like throw something in their way to not make it happen. Like that's my favorite thing ever. I get so frustrated, but I do love it. I think the origin of this is when I read all the Shadowhunters books that were out at this point when I was like 12 or something. And like Jace and Clary in the Mortal Instruments, that they have the whole brother and sister thing thrown in their way, you know what I mean? So the moment they finally were able to be together, that was like 6 books into it. So I think that was started it all. And nowadays, if something happens too quick, I get an ick. I just don't like it. It's like, you don't even know each other. Like 2 days, that's just too much. I want you to spend 3 years in suffering before you even get a kiss, okay? That's what I love. Oh, one of us is famous. That is interesting. Oh, I did read something like that. Oh no, I didn't. Technically, I haven't read it yet. I've read some, not some, I've read a lot of fan fictions in my teens. Well, not really probably books, but I did read some of that, and I think it can be done, and I think it can be done right. So we put it here because it can be very cringe of like where the author is trying too hard to make that non-famous person really understanding, and you know, the famous person like hates all of it and they need someone who understands, and they casually walk in, oh, I know how you feel. And yeah, I think it's usually pretty cringe. Yeah, so we keep it in the middle. I hate everyone in the world but you. Oh my god. The thing is, the one thing I'm craving in my life is a good villain romance story, like where the character falls in love with the villain. Not like right away. I want them to actually, you know, be in the same team as the hero, but then slowly gravitate towards the villain and then fall in love with him and eventually. And that trope is gonna be in there, and I will find it at some point. Please recommend this kind of book to me, because that's kind of what I'm craving since I was like 13, because I was always crushing on the bad guys like growing up, and I think that left something in me, you know. And yeah, so I hate everyone in the world but you. It actually reminds me of this Arctic Monkeys quote. Stop the world, I want to get off. With the exception of you, I dislike everyone in the room. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Okay, right person, not enough time. Isn't that the same thing as, where is it? Right person, wrong time. Right person, not enough time. Oh, so the person's gonna die? Wait, is that how it meant? I'm not sure. Okay, so if I'm gonna interpret the way that one person is gonna die, like in The Fault in Our Stars, whoa. I devoured that book when I was like 14, so I like that. Usually, I do like a non-happy end, actually. Like a somehow non-happy end. Why I'm holding this plant, sorry, plant. It's not my fave, but also not my least fave, I think. Friends to lovers, it's similar to childhood friends to lovers. Nah. Good boy, bad girl. I don't think I've read that a lot, but I do like, you know, I do like it better in reverse, I feel like. But it can be done right. I think it can be done well, but I don't think I've seen any book like that I liked or that I've read. So yeah. Insta love, nope. Get rid of that. We don't like it. I hate. At some point in like the fanfiction world, people started implementing comments on Instagram posts and stuff like that in their stories, or like pure stories only taking place in like the social media world, and I think that was just disgusting. I hate that. Like, no. And I don't think I'm like the person, especially like in a fantasy romance, like if it's partially taking place in the real world, lose your phone on the second page and we will not have anything like that in that book. It gives me the ick. We don't do that here. Sorry. Billionaire. Okay, not even a millionaire. We have a billionaire. I have not read that, I think. Did I? Royalty. Like, I think like every other book in fantasy has like a royal prince in there. But I do like the trope. I mean, I'm currently reading Throne of Glass. Like I said, we have a Dorian prince. I like him. So yeah, I usually enjoy it. I mean, it's not my fave, but it's also not my least fave. I think I'll put it in here. It's just like, why not? Ooh, the secret relationship. I actually like this trope because it kind of adds a bit of tension, and what it's talking about, that I like it when they can't be together like the way they want to, and that I usually enjoy that, to be honest. We had forced proximity, right? It's in here, so we're just gonna leave it, I think. Now it's gone. I don't know, forget about it. Second chance romance. So someone has to fuck something up to get a second chance, I guess. That's how I see it. It depends. If someone cheats, I'm like, nah, don't give them a second chance. I want it to be perfect, and I want them to be perfect with each other, and if they do something stupid like that, I don't think they're perfect. like book-wise. Second chance, but it can be anything, you know. It can be something like in Where the Crawdads Sing, where that guy left the marsh girl to go to university, I think, and then they got back together. I think it can be done right, but usually I'm not for the second chances in book, you know. You be perfect or not, choose a side. Why is there all like triple and double? I don't know. So we had single plans, we had workplace, we had fake dating, best friends brothers, we had that. Oh no, we had, wait, okay, we had brother's best friend, but now we have best friend's brother, and I think that's kind of the same, isn't it? It's like a person close to you, they have a sibling. It's the same thing, for me at least. Okay, but this brother's best friend, we had that. Marriage of convenience. I have not read that, I think. Marriage of convenience? Is that more like a political marriage, or is it more like a religious? My parents choose. Oh no, that's not convenience. Or is it like I have to get a visa to get into this country? Well, either it's a visa or it's political, I guess. It does depend if they are then paired with other tropes. So for example, if they don't like each other, if they're married off, they have to marry for a certain purpose and they don't like each other. And then when they're forced to spend time with each other, like the forced proximity trope, and then they suddenly realize that they actually like each other, that's kind of cute. I think it's not my fave, but also not my least fave, I would say. Yes. So bully romance, we had that stepbrother romance. So, okay, so you fall in love with your stepbrother, and I think that's actually fine because you're not, you know, you're not actually blood related. But I think the stepbrother, it's also kind of, it has a weird side to it. I think it cannot hit on, like, I'm not a fan. Usually I'm not a fan. I think it's anything with, you know, they're kind of related. I think that's kind of weird, to be honest. Okay, and now we're gonna see if we're gonna switch anything around. So only one bad, enemies to lovers, slow burn. I think we're gonna remove only one bad because I think everything else I love way more. So we're gonna put that, and I usually enjoy it. Ah, here it is. Right person, wrong time. I think I'm gonna move that down. Second chance romance, I think I'll put that down. I'm just not a fan. I'm debating on the stepbro thing, you know? But I think I'm gonna move that down. Sorry. Yeah. Get rid of these. Jesus, I hate them so much. If I even see the install, oh gosh, install, no. If I would see a book, like a physical book, like a physical copy of a book, and I see printed in there Instagram comments where they're talking to each other in the comment section or in the DMs, I will lose my mind. I hope that does not exist because it exists way too much on Wattpad. Or it used to be like that. So please get rid of it. I hate it so bad. Okay, whew. We have to sip some more tea. Okay. Yes, that was my ranking. I hope you enjoyed, and I will leave the tier maker list thingy in the description and also link the video with the original chart. I hope you enjoyed, and we'll see each other in the next video. Bye!